Let's shift our focus now. In the United Kingdom, a polarising bill has split the governing Labour Party and the larger population. It is a proposed law allowing terminally ill adults in England and Wales to end their lives. We're talking about assisted dying or assisted suicide or euthanasia. The MP who is leading the charge to legalise assisted dying in England and Wales, Labour MP Kim Ledbetter, believes that this law could stop people from experiencing very harrowing deaths and says that the law would put in place very robust and secure safeguards for the same. Let's first get you the details of this proposed law. Under this bill, terminally ill adults who are expected to die within 6 months could seek help in ending their life. That is only if 2 doctors and a High Court judge verify their eligibility, and also if the decision to end their life is made voluntarily, that is to say, independently and with a sound mind. So a request for assisted dying under this proposed law would have to meet the following prerequisites. The patient must be over the age of 18 and must be registered with a general practitioner for at least 12 months. The patient must have a mental capacity to make a choice about ending their life. They must be able to make a clear and informed wish, rid of any pressure or coercion at every step of the process. An individual can change their mind at any point independently without the need for outside corroboration. So this is the bill the lawmakers are set to vote on the 29th of November. Also important to know that this bill is back on the table 10 years after the Parliament rejected a previous such bill to legalise assisted dying. Needless to say, the issue of legalising assisted dying, it's been a contentious one across the globe for as far as anyone can remember, an issue that has sparked passionate debates. Depending on which side of the debate you are on, you are likely to either see it as ending a life or shortening someone's death. But who gets to make this call? Who gets to decide whether someone has the right to take away a terminally ill patient's pain and suffering? Different countries across the globe have different criteria and laws for the same. Now, there are a couple of things to consider here. Number one, the condition of the patient. Whether a patient is terminally ill or has an illness that is irremediable but perhaps not progressive in nature. Then, there is the very real issue of intent. On what basis can this life or death call be taken, and who gets to make this call? Can a person make this call for a terminally ill relative? I'm just thinking out loud here because I believe these are some pertinent and very real questions. Say someone who has dementia, which is described as a life-limiting condition and may ultimately be terminal. However, many people with dementia can live independently for several years with the right support. So who gets to make this call in such a case? Can you make a call in such a case? Which is why any such law would require a clear statement and expression of the desire to end their life by the patient itself without any coercion. That is in cases where the patient is experiencing unbearable suffering. Furthermore, this is where the verification by a doctor and a judge would come into the picture as well. Number 3, the right to dignity in death. Here is an account of one of the supporters of the proposed law.
My father had multiple sclerosis, secondary progressive, and his GP had diagnosed him as terminal. He had lost pretty much all the mobility in his body and was reduced to a really bare function of physical ability. And he was losing the last shreds of his bodily dignity. And he knew that the ability to take his own life was something that only he would be able to control for a short amount of time.
Let's take a look at the legal status of assisted dying in some other countries across the globe. Switzerland legalized assisted dying in 1942 on the condition that the motive is not selfish. It was the first country in the world to permit assisted dying. In the United States, medical aid in dying or physician-assisted dying is legal in 10 states: California, Colorado, Hawaii, Montana, Maine, New Jersey, New Mexico, Oregon, Vermont, and Washington. Oregon being the first state to legalize it in 1997. The condition is that the patient must be mentally competent and terminally ill with less than 6 months to live to request assisted dying. The Netherlands legalized it in 2002. Assisted suicide is permitted when a patient is experiencing unbearable suffering with no prospect of improvement. Minors can request euthanasia from age 12 but require parental permission until age 16. Belgium legalized it in the same year as the Netherlands, 2002 that is, for all patients experiencing unbearable suffering. In Belgium, psychiatric conditions are also included. Those under the age of 18 require parental permission. In Canada, medically assisted dying was introduced in 2016 for those whose death is assessed to be reasonably foreseeable. Later, the law was extended to include grievous and irremediable conditions. Mental illness has not yet been included under this law. Other countries include Australia, Spain and Germany. Germany, however, is yet to formalize rules for the same. You see, the conditions and language in all of these laws is very important. It brings us back to the question, who is truly equipped to make this call? In the UK, many with terminal illness have taken part in this debate. Some terminally ill patients say they must have the right to make a choice about their life and the right to have dignity in death, to be able to live while still being in control of their faculties. Like I said, while some see it as shortening death, others see it as ending a life. And as the debate continues in the UK, will this debate soon permeate across borders into other democracies as well? For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.